Say airplane. Airplane.
Don't choke yourself on the spoon.
Let's try it.
How do you zoom on this thing?
It's on top.
You know how to zoom on it?
Now, just gotta take this with you.
I think maybe once it actually starts, you have to just put it on automatic. Put it on.
Oh, when it starts up there,
Yeah.
he wants a screen. Hey, Miss Bailey. She's messing with the camera.
If you would please stand, and Pastor Cobbs James of the North Hatch Christian Church will deliver the invitation.
Good evening. Let us pray. Glorious God, we gather tonight to just give thanks and praise for experience and flying that has really given an opportunity of just adventure, experience, and bonding between fellow pilots around the world. We're glad, Lord, to acknowledge black pilots tonight. We pray for safety in the skies and also success in our outreach to young people. And Father, may the future of this organization, this fine chapter, continue to prosper and grow under your divine blessing. We ask your blessing upon the food we're about to receive, oh God. May it give us strength, may it give us energy, may it give us power to love you and each other all the more. As we ask in the name of Jesus. Amen.
My name is Eugene Anderson, and currently I serve as president of the Jayhawk chapter of the Black Pilots of America. The Jayhawk chapter is one of many across the nation with a shared goal and a united effort to offer training opportunities, activities, and financial assistance to students seeking careers in aviation. We are recognized as an educational and scientific entity under the Internal Revenue Service Code 501c3 as a not-for-profit organization. In our program tonight, you will meet some young people our chapter will be assisting financially. This assistance will allow each one to get an up-close and personal look at the type of career opportunities available to them in the exciting and demanding field of aviation. Two of those individuals will be attending the Black Pilots of America Summer Flight Academy in Miami, Florida in July. The third person is one of 4 national winners who will be attending a 1-week flight exploration camp at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Prescott, Arizona in July. We want to thank you for your attendance and your support. And it is through your generosity that we are able to assist the young people you will meet we would like for you to do at this time is to sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight. Our food is buffet style. The children will go first. If they're children, they will let you go.
You want them to go now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Come back and visit when there's no tornado and there's no flood, there's no warning. I'll be back. I'll go west and I'll leave until I see nice high pressure. I know we know that.
Hey, how y'all doing today? I'm a future pilot one day.
Are you?
You know, I'll be a pilot probably about the year 2020. I'll take some flight lessons, some flight school.
I was going to say 2020.
He said, why you going to wait so long? Just going to take some time to learn everything. This is my co-pilot right here.
I see.
And we'll be flying American Airlines 2020.
Oh, okay.
Look forward.
That's still too long. We took some more of your money. We did take some more of your money. Somebody turned in the ticket, said they got it from you. So.
How you doing?
All right.
Gotta follow that.
What are you doing getting that one on?
I can hear it. In London. But you had no problem. No, I was going to ask you if you read that. I can hear all of that.
That's mine.
Yep. You gonna eat all that?
Dad! Dad!
Huh?
We got them show.
Well, that would be one great thing.
How you doing? I'll try not to get you when you're putting something in your mouth.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, you're all right. You're all right.
I think I'll get in line.
Yeah, get in line.
Okay.
You any relation to?
I was trying to get you with them.
To the young people in here, but to the adults in here as well. Stephen Hill was born in Chicago, Illinois, to Isaac and Juanita Hill. During his youth, he was actively involved in the Civil Air Patrol and the U.S. Army ROTC. He graduated from Lindblom Technical High School in 1984 and left Chicago to pursue his dream of working in the aviation industry. Stephen attended Tuskegee University, the cradle of black aviation, where he received bachelor's degrees in both aerospace science engineering and mechanical engineering in 1994. In 1997, he received his Master's of Business Administration from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, more commonly known as MIT. Stephen is currently employed at Raytheon Aircraft Corporation as General Manager of Piston Products. He holds profit and loss responsibilities for approximately $100 million in annual business. Prior to joining Raytheon, Stephen spent 11 years with Pratt & Whitney in numerous roles with increasing capacities such as Senior Design Engineer on the F-119 program, Manager of Business Development for Europe and the Americas, Senior Financial Analyst and Contract Manager for Eagle Services, a joint venture between Singapore Airlines and Pratt & Whitney. Stephen is married to his college sweetheart and his best friend, Carmencita. Did I do that right? Carmencita. You know, I didn't see that T there. Am I gonna get in trouble, Stephen? Okay. Carmencita, I'm gonna apologize for doing that. They have been married for nearly 10 years and are looking forward to establishing themselves in Wichita. I'd like to present to you our speaker of the evening, Stephen Hill.
How we doing? Good. Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank God for allowing us to be here tonight. It's a very humbling event for me to be here because I think that what we're doing today is a significant task. We're celebrating a couple of students or several students here who are following their dreams, and I think it's very important for us to go do that. One of the other things I'd like to go off and thank you all for is actually thank the Jayhawk chapter for supporting an event like this. It's one thing to have the foresight to go up and think about doing an event like this to go out and support children and their dreams. It's another to have the determination to go off and make it happen. And again, I'd like to congratulate the members of the Jayhawk chapter for pulling this off tonight. In addition to the members of the chapter, I'd like to also thank the corporate sponsors who contributed to this event to make it the success that it is today. And finally, I'd like to thank everyone in the room, all the parents, the friends, the brothers, the sisters of the people who are going to be honored tonight, because without your support, these people wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't be here. So again, I just want to thank you again for that. Okay, today we're here to celebrate several achievements and several students beginning their journey. It's a journey to follow their dreams, but we're also here to encourage others as well. To let you know that you can follow your dreams and achieve great things if you follow some simple ingredients. How many of you have ever baked a cake? Raise your hand. Okay, successful. How many of you have ever put together a puzzle or something else like that? All right. What did you need to go up and do that? You needed to kind of know the right ingredients to pull together. You needed some tools maybe to go pull that together to make it work. You also needed some knowledge to go do that. In addition to the knowledge piece of it, you also needed, I know I did, I needed a lot of help from people who had already done it before to give you some advice and counsel. And life is similar to that if you want to be successful in your life. It's always about looking for those individuals who have done the things that you want to do and surrounding yourself with the right people. I kind of sat back and I reflected upon what things I've done in my life and how I got to this place, at least at this point in my life. And I came up with about 6 things after thinking about it for a couple of days. Actually it was probably more than 6 things, but I realized we only had about 2 hours to go through this and I don't want to keep you here all night. So the 6 things that I came up with, and I'm going to go through these in detail, but I just wanted to share those with you. The first one is put God first in your life. All right? The second one is follow your passion. In essence, you got to do what excites you, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. The third one is, set goals, and once you've achieved the goals you've set new ones. The fourth one is surround yourself with great people. All right. The fifth one is, and this is for everybody in this room, give back now. Don't wait till later. Okay. And finally, I want to talk a little bit about one of the last things and one of the most important things is have fun. Getting to the end point is a good thing, but enjoying the journey is as important as well. When I talk about putting God first in your life, what I'm advocating is that we have to put and we must develop a personal relationship with God. You need a moral compass to allow you to focus on the right things and make sure you're not doing things that you shouldn't be doing. And there will always be many trials and tribulations, but if you have that relationship, you will be able to get through those issues. The Lord has helped me in many ways and helped me focus and keep my faith through many dark times in my life. In essence, you must know that everything that you achieve and every obstacle you face is God's way of showing you that He loves you and that going through these obstacles will make you a better person. So embrace the obstacles. Don't run away from them. Okay? When I talk about following your passion, what are you good at? All right? I've had the pleasure of sitting by these gentlemen over here, and the things that I've learned from them is that they follow their passion. All right? And that's why they were so successful. What do I mean by follow your passion? Do what excites you. All right? Why do I say that? Why is that important? If you do what excites you, you work harder at it. If you work harder at it, you're going to be better at it than most. If you work harder at it and people notice that you're better than most, they're going to continue to come to you. And that means that you're going to be the person they recognize as being the best. And that's where you want to be. In essence, what I'm saying is that if you're good at something, focus on that and become great at it. How many of you all know Michael Jordan as a basketball player? Many of you guys, right? Michael didn't become great by following something that he was almost good at. You understand what I'm saying? He worked at it, he continued to work at it, he became great at it. And that's the same thing in engineering, it's the same thing in journalism, it's the same thing in selling cars and automobiles. You have to leverage your talents, so once that God gave you, to go up and be as good as you can be. Magic Johnson had a saying, and I've always liked that saying, I've used it a lot. He said, win the championships and the money will come. In essence, don't worry about how much you get paid to do a particular task. Do it with love and conviction. And from there, good things will happen. Okay? So again, that's that second piece of this. The third piece that I'd like to talk about is setting your goals, and once you achieve them, set new ones. Now, this one is probably the most interesting one for me because I think about it when I was in high school. One of the things that kind of drove me a lot when I was in high school was academic excellence, or so I thought. And my grades really were pretty bad in high school. And I remember sitting in, honors convocations and things like that, and seeing a lot of students who were just as bright as I was, getting a lot of recognition for doing a lot of great things. And I always felt like I was cheating because I didn't do those things. So I made a personal commitment when I went to college that I was going to focus on that and get into every honor society that I could possibly get into. So by the time I got to Tuskegee, get focused on it, did very well my first 2 years, got great GPAs, got all kinds of honors and accolades. I was very happy. I was done. Sophomore in college, felt like I didn't have to do anything else. I stopped going to class. I was having a great time because I achieved the goals that I had set. I was done. I found a wonderful young lady to spend my time with. And I just forgot about the other part of the goal. In essence, I used the intermediate step in the goal. In essence, achieving that goal that I had set. And that was the only goal that I set. The other stuff wasn't important until I realized that I needed to graduate. Then it became very important for me to go up and continue to work on that. And what I mean by that, so you all understand it, is that as you set goals in your life, set new ones. My initial goal was to go off and get into these honor societies, and that was important to me at the time. But the more important thing would have been to graduate with honors for me. And I should have reestablished a second goal. I didn't do that. So I learned from that, and when I went forward to my next college program, and from every other thing I did in my life, I've been doing in my life, I'm going to focus on setting those intermediate goals, and then setting new ones after that once you achieve them. So that's the second point I'd like you to remember. Fourthly, surround yourself with great people. Now, a lot of people say you should surround yourself with good people, and I don't really believe that. I think you should surround yourself with the absolute best people that you can possibly find. Now, why is that important? How many of you here have wanted to go do something, gone and told somebody, and they say, hey, you can't go do that? How many? Raise your hand. All right, do those people encourage you to go out and achieve your dreams? All right. How many of those people have met those other types of individuals who've encouraged you? Who said, hey, that's the right thing to go do that, I'll support you, I'll be there for you. Those are the kind of people that you need to surround yourself with. Those are people that I've surrounded myself with. I think about my mother, Juanita Hill, I think about Carmen Cita, who's always been there for me and always supported me, including when I left to go to Boston for 2 years to go to school. I mean, she was there for me then, and she's been there with me for the entire time. And that's what you want. Somebody's going to be there with you when times are hard, okay? Because it's always good, and you always have friends and accolades when you're doing well and you're a general manager running a business. It's when you're broke and walking into Tuskegee and dogs chasing you that you need a friend, all right? And I was fortunate enough to have friends like that, and those friends are still with me today. When I think about the great business leaders of all time, I mean, all those great leaders had great people around them. When I think about the Tuskegee Airmen, they had guys like Chief Anderson, who we talked about very briefly over here. Again, focus on putting yourself with the best people that you can possibly be with, because again, greatness circles greatness. Remember that. Okay? I think about, here I am, I'm 34 years old, I'm general manager of about a $100 million business. Sounds pretty exciting. I mean, it's great. It's a great opportunity. I really enjoyed it. My first GM job was in San Antonio, and I remember I asked myself, how did I get there? And what I did was I focused on working with the best general managers that I could find. All right. And I asked those guys, where are the holes? I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. What other things do I need? I watched those individuals. So I watched the best GMs that I could find doing that job, so that when I had the opportunity, no one could take shots at me. And that's the thing that you got to remember as well. So if you know that you want to do something, for instance, if you know you want to be a pilot, you hang out with pilots, because they can teach you about the game. If you want to be an architect, you hang out with architects. If you want to be an engineer, you hang out with engineers. If you want to be an investment banker, it goes the same way. You got to hang out with the people who know the craft, because they can give you some insight into what you're doing and what things you can work with. Okay. The fourth point that I'd like to make is giving back. Now, forgive me for this weather, but I did it anyway. When I talk about giving back, it's the thing that I remember in coming up were people who were about my age, maybe slightly older, who would come back and talk to me about their experiences. And what did that do for me? It helped me know that those things were possible. Now, how old are you? Huh? 12. Okay, you got more in common with a 15 or 16-year-old than you do with me right now. Because they understand the situation that you're going through. If you had a 16-year-old, if you're talking to you, you'd be listening. Like you're listening to me, I know, but but at least from a point where that information is more common to what you're going through, you kind of understand it a little better. Because we talk about the same thing. You're talking about the new rap videos, the MX, and all the rest of that good stuff. That's what we're talking about here. And it's important for you folks, or for us, to remember that we constantly have to get back to those that are coming behind us, regardless of what we've done and what we've achieved, because it's important for people to see us in the struggle. All right? It's one thing to kind of come up and have all these achievements and no one sees you in the struggle. It's another one to come back every day and say, I'm struggling, but I'm getting there. So when you achieve it, people understand what it took for you to get there. You know, I talked about Michael a lot, Michael Jordan, partly because I'm from Chicago. And I remember the years when Michael was getting his butt kicked by the Detroit Pistons all the time. All right, but it was watching him in that struggle that we learned about him, his character, his ability to get through that, learned about working as a team, all the rest of that stuff. And that made the championship years even better because, again, I saw him pay the price. You understand what I'm saying? Just like with anyone else who took at the table, there were some prices that were paid. And if you've seen those prices, it means more to you when you made those successes. So, again, give back now. If you've been given a lot, and many of us have, we're required to give a lot back. Finally, the last point that I'd like to make is, have fun and enjoy the journey. Success, for whichever way you define it, really isn't a destination. It's a path and going. It's a journey. It's how you get there that's important. And don't forget to celebrate along the way. I mean, one of the things that I have tried to go do more of is, as we make these small steps, to really get up and say, thank you, God, I've made this small accomplishment. This is very important for me. I'm moving along the path to achieving my ultimate goal. Remember that, you never achieve big things without little steps. I mean, first we had to crawl, then we walked, and then we ran. I mean, so again, you got to celebrate them as they come along. Finally, and I guess most importantly, is remember that your accomplishments are not more important than the people that are around you, your family, your friends, and the other lives that you've touched. Someone to share the journey with and the destinations is what the fun's all about. Okay. And I'm going to kind of close it with this. Again, I want to congratulate the people that are here to celebrate this wonderful event of going on and giving these scholarships and this opportunity to a couple of students here. Ultimately, again, it took a lot of people to help us get here. We're required to give a lot back. And the only thing that's really, I guess the most interesting for me here is that these things that I've kind of told you, these 6 principles, and remember them. I mean, it's real simple. There's going to be a test afterwards. First, put God first in your life. So follow your passion, and I mean that. As I mean the other one. Set your goals. Set goals, and once you see those goals, achieve those goals, set them again, set new ones. Surround yourself with great people. Give back now, and have fun and enjoy the journey. Okay? All right, that's all I have, and I want to thank you again for your time, and continue to go out and eat dessert together.
Thank you very much, Stephen, for those remarks. As we continue with our program, a few months ago, during one of our meetings, Senator Gooch challenged our organization to a bill that the Kerry Gooch Memorial Fund would provide a scholarship for one young person to attend our Summer Flight Academy. If our organization would come up with another one, we would have to match that scholarship. With your help, I think we are going to do that. And we would like to ask Senator Gooch and his grandson, and I think perhaps the whole Gooch family, because this is in memory of Carrie. And I appreciate Senator Gooch's effort. And Senator, would you join me? Is the recipient of our first scholarship. And she is being escorted to the podium by a BPA member and fellow pilot, Tamika Carter.
Not just a pilot, but a transport pilot. It is a pleasure for me to be here to be an assistance in sending someone to the Southern summer camp. Glad we were able to be a part of it. I made it very clear that it's always an advantage for at least two people to be together in the same area when they go to these camps. And that we, the family, would forward one, if the organization would present the other one. So they got busy and worked and got this accomplished. And it's a pleasure for this to happen. And I really want to make sure that this happens, as I feel very important, is that the son of my son, who this Memorial Foundation is in honor of, will make this presentation to the young lady who will be going to summer camp. This Carrie Gooch, the second, will make the award to her. I'm pleased to present Carrie Gooch.
I'm pleased to present this award to Grace in honor of my father, Carrie.
Thank you.
I'd like to tell you a little bit about Jerese. Not only is she an outstanding student, I understand she is an outstanding athlete in more than one sport. And she had originally told us that she was at a camp and could not make it, and we had agreed to allow her mother to receive the scholarship, but she notified one of our members that she was going to be here. So she put her basketball down long enough to come in. The other recipient of our scholarship is Justin Franklin. Justin is employed, and he has gotten permission to take 2 weeks from his job to attend the academy, but he could not be with us tonight. We're going to ask Senator Gooch to come back to the podium and introduce our special guest. And I probably had this on the program a little bit out of order because our special guest will join us as we present the Embry-Riddle Scholarship to one of 4 national winners from across the country, Jason Harper. Jason will be escorted to the podium by BPA member Elsa Beckles, and Elsa will be taking over the responsibilities of the secretary because of the fact that we are losing our current secretary who's moving out of the state. We will miss him very much. And Senator, would you come up and introduce our special guest, please?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Gene. You notice I didn't bring up any written reports. It wasn't only because I can't read, but it's because the person I'm going to be speaking of, I don't need to have any written information to speak. This person was born in the heartland of Mississippi in the area of Yazoo City. That in itself is enough. But only went on to attend school in that Mississippi area, later spent time in the military. After leaving the military, he established home in Chicago, Illinois, and started his life as a policeman. And his lifestyle and his taste for life could not be supported on the income from police life. So he decided that he had to find another way to support the kind of lifestyle that he would like to live, and he became a businessman. He, through his business career, he's owned several automobile agencies. Over the time that he was in the automobile business was the time that I had an opportunity to meet him when he got interested enough in following his dream that he'd had about flying airplanes to buy himself an airplane. You get these airplanes, right away you find out that your places that you go to have things happen becomes quite distant. Fortunately, my family grew up that way. We spent weekends going distance that a lot of people had to take a vacation because of the use of airplanes. So it just so happened, I met this guy in Paradise. I didn't die in an airplane crash. But this was Paradise Island in the Bahamas. My younger daughter was along with me, and my son that we just mentioned. And not only did I meet him in Paradise, I met him in a swimming pool just before I got arrested. We'll tell that story. But we met, found out that we were there both in Bahamas to attend a meeting of our aviation organization. We'd been invited there by the Secretary of Interiors of some of the great people of Panama. And it was a great occasion there. So from then on, we began to be reasonably close associates and friends. Later, even developed a real fast deal of making ourselves a formation team along with another one of our flying group that had never been in the air at the same time, and the three of us mounted two airplanes and won the championship of formation flying. That says in itself that he must be a pretty decent flyer. The word was, Rip, you take the middle, Oscar and I, they go sides, and they'll just hold on. But anyway, during this time, we have spent a lot of time together at these different meetings, different aviation organizations, and there's been a lot of struggles in moving these organizations forward. But he's been one of these kind of people that did a lot to make things happen. Later, he has sold his automobile businesses. I said businesses, more than one. Took all of his money and went to Las Vegas, not to gamble, but to live and live comfortably. And he's doing a great job of doing that and try to make himself convenient to help, as the speaker had said earlier, somebody that wants to give back. He's been giving back all the time. You know, there's a number of people in life that will stand by and watch things happen. This person is the person that stands up and makes things happen. I'll introduce to you the person that I've just given you history on, Horton. Horton is the chairman of the BPA organization of the United States.
comment on what this young man here that I just met said. He said so many things that I live by. And if you kids will just follow what he said, I guarantee you success. When he said, associate with good, great people that are heading forward, I say a little Mississippi slogan about it. You don't see buzzards and eagles fly together. Stay away from the buzzards, fly with eagles.
Got it?
On behalf of Embry-Riddle University and the Black Pilots of America, I want to award this young man one of the 4 scholarships that Embry-Riddle gave to the Black Pilots of America to present. And good luck, and follow your dream. If you want to be a professional pilot, a military pilot, whatever it is, or if you just want to be a pilot, you will enjoy every minute. Thank you very much.
I'd like to say thank you to the BPA and Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, because without this I could not pursue my passion, as Mr. Hill said, and do what I wanted to do. So I thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. I would really like to take this time to thank all of the BPA members for their efforts in selling tickets and getting people to purchase tables for students, and for just making the whole program go. And in any organization, you know, there are certain people, you know, you can always count on. I mean, they're just there to make things happen. And I also want to take the time to thank George and Pam Johnson, who 2 years ago enabled our organization to send 3 students to our Summer Flight Academy. And last year, even though we were not able financially to send a student, we did support the summer camp by sending a financial contribution to them that some other students might be able to use. It takes quite a bit of money to sponsor a student for the 2 weeks. And we paid everything for them. We paid their air travel, we paid their tuition fees, we paid their room and board, and the parents have to give them pocket money. We don't do that. They have to take their own spending money. And the students who went 2 years ago came back, and I think excited would be a good word. And I think that is the best weapon we have to reach other students. When they see one of their peers doing it, that leads them to think and believe that they can do it. And, you know, trying to sell these tickets sometimes, you get a little frustrated. You know? And, you know, people are going, why are you doing this? And what am I doing? Oh, it's not going to make a difference, if, you know. And that kind of bothers me a little bit. And I kind of walk away from those people because I figure they're not going to buy a ticket anyway, so why should I wait one thing? And move on to something else. And, but there are a lot of people who do just purchase a table just to support the organization and direct us to give the tickets to students, to the Urban League, or the Boys and Girls Club, the Young Eagles, with the organization of our choice. And we try as much as we can to do that. And before the benediction, Stephen, I'm going to share this with the group and to you, because I think you make a difference. And it's something I read from time to time, and especially when I get a little bit depressed. And it says, one day, a man was walking along the beach when he noticed a figure in the distance. As he got closer, he realized the figure was that of a boy, picking something up and gently throwing it into the ocean. A Approaching the boy, he asked, "What are you doing?" The youth replied, "Throwing starfish into the ocean. The sun is up and the tide is going out, and if I don't throw them in, they'll die." "Son," the man said, "you don't realize there are miles and miles of beach and hundreds of starfish. You can't possibly make a difference." After listening politely, the young boy bent down, picked up another starfish, and threw it into the surf. Then, smiling at the man, he said, "I made a difference for that one." So I think if we make a difference in Jason's life and Jerese's life, and in turn, they make a difference in someone else's life, we have made a difference. Pastor Harding, would you deliver a benediction? Pastor Kevin Harding of Del Rose United Methodist Church.
Will you all please stand? Let us be in attitude. Oh God, we thank you for this great occasion where we come to celebrate the future pilots. We thank you for them. We thank you for this organization, Black Pilots Association. We ask you continue to bless this organization. We ask you continue to watch over them and keep them in your perfect peace. May now you be with us as we leave this place. In your son Jesus' name. Amen.
No, I'll look here when everybody clears out. I'm sure I brought it in. But
They're right over there.
come right on. Come right on. Hi. That's mine, Gene. Oh, you're all right.